Put it on this computer and we are live. So welcome to, it's August. I can't believe it. August Team Forge Fit Squad team call. It is Monday, August 10th. And I am super pumped for this month. We got Team Cup going on. We got a couple teams that are rocking it. I'm super excited for that. Lots of shout outs from last month. I got to shout out Sandy since she's on the call today. And I know I went crazy in our team page about it. Sandy hit Success Club for her very first time last month, which is huge. That is so exciting. And she's really very close to Diamond. And she likes to pretend that she's not so close, and she gets very nervous. And I'm like, it's going to happen. She's got big goals for being the first elite, great, what'd you say, grandma coach. She's going to be the oldest elite coach.
The oldest elite person in Beachbody.
That's right. That's a major
I'm
goal.
68, Johnny.
I thought you're turning 28, so I like it.
Yeah, I just turned 68 a few weeks ago.
So she's crushing it. So we're super excited and proud of Sandy. She's been rocking it. And Katiana, she helped her very first person for the month of August, and she's like been crushing her journey, sharing it on social media. So these are just the things that we just keep doing these things consistently over and over, and just keep rocking our own journeys and just inviting people authentically to do this with us. And people are going to catch that. People are going to see your positivity and your energy. And that's why people want to work with us. So I'm super stoked. And that actually leads me into Mr. Johnny. So Johnny is my corporate mentor. You mentor 1 to 5 stars in the Midwest or all over?
Great Lakes, and sometimes I'll be doing a lot of these team calls and sometimes reaching out to those people's as diamonds wherever they live too. So helping out a lot of people. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, Johnny's got tons of energy. He was that new leader. He's bananas, but he's awesome, and he's a great person to have mentor because he's very wise, and he is going to come on tonight just to talk about, sharing our business without sounding salesy, because we hear it from a lot of new coaches. How can I invite someone without sounding salesy? And how can I really start these, genuine and authentic relationships with people so that it comes across as authentic? So I was like, Johnny, we got lots of coaches who are struggling and got lots of questions. So I'm just going to turn the floor over to you. I'm going to mute everyone. So give me a minute, because I'll mute and then I'll unmute you. All right, Johnny.
I unmuted myself. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. Amanda, I love your energy, by the way. It's great.
Thank you.
Total, not that you have to be high energy, but it helps with Beachbody, so kind of that vitality and everything. Good to see you, those that are live here. We got Sandy and Maria and Shelly. Hey, if you have any questions or any burning thoughts, please write that in the chat anytime. Be happy to answer that. Or I might even call on you guys at the end just to kind of see some of your thoughts. So, but just beware. Anyone's no one's safe in a good way. So here's kind of what I want to talk about, because I asked Amanda earlier on, hey, what do you want me to kind of cover? So as she said, talking about this whole notion of not being salesy and being able to actually have a genuine conversation with people. And I think this actually applies to both aspects of trying to get someone to essentially buy a challenge pack and get in your challenge group. I want to say there's oftentimes we could put in quotes, a sale that happens then. There's also kind of a sale to get someone to become a coach, believe it or not. I think if we can get this all figured out, it won't feel like a sale, and that it really will become something more catered towards somebody. And that's where I really want to get discussing here. I want to be describing some of these things, some that you'll probably have heard before, but I'm going to explain why these things are the case and almost give you the perspective from the prospective customer or the perspective of coach as to what's kind of going through their brain, so you can better understand how to approach the situation. So when it comes to getting someone to buy a challenge pack, if I, Katiana, I think everyone else can hear me. Maybe you could try logging off, try logging back on. Definitely want you to be able to, because I don't see an audio thing with your thing. So you might have to try that again. She's got a walkie-talkie. That's why you're trying to listen on the walkie-talkie. I'm just playing. Okay, so let me get into this here. The notion is, what's the purpose of a challenge group or selling someone a challenge pack? The idea really is to get them results. If they get results, fantastic. I feel like we've done them a service. If they get results, also, there is a greater chance that they're primed up to be tomorrow's coaches. It's a little hard to get someone to become a coach, frankly, if they haven't had their own testimony and results. So conversely, if they've had great results or good results, they're more likely to become tomorrow's working coach. And that typically makes sense. We see that across the board. So let me try this when it comes to talking about someone about becoming a Beachbody challenger. So we know that we don't typically go up to someone and say, you're overweight, you don't look like you're in shape, you probably got diabetes, I'm sure you're unhappy, your sex appeal is down the drain, you really need to work out, and here's a challenge pack, here's an invitation. Yeah, here you go. Obviously, we don't do anything to that extreme. But where I give that dramatic example is because people typically don't want to be told something that they haven't really asked advice for or feel like they want to even hear or feel like they necessarily need. Now, they may be aware of it, but like they don't want to be told that, okay, or given the suggestion to fix that unless it really comes from them. And that can be with just about anything in life. In fact, that's when something feels like it's a sale. It's when we're presenting something to somebody without really building enough rapport relationship to see if what we're presenting to them makes sense or is appropriate for them. When we haven't had the discussion, yes, it does feel like a sale. And I'll say this, if it feels salesy, it's because it is salesy. And whether that's us delivering it or from them, okay, or if it feels high pressure in that way, it's because it is high pressure. I don't know, there's not another way to put it. So I want to remove all of that. So the way we're going to go about that is, and I like to call this, actually, it's funny, it's called the art of the sale. But when it's done right, it doesn't actually feel like a sale. Now, oftentimes you'll hear about like Carl Deichler talking about, hey, we're trying to provide solutions for people. Well, here's the interesting thing. I think providing a solution for somebody actually has to be a solution for them, meaning there actually has to be a problem to give a solution to, as opposed to being a situation where I'm just prescribing something to you. Meaning like a doctor doesn't typically prescribe something unless there's been a diagnosis. So how quick are we to just give a diagnosis or a sale without really diagnosing the situation? And I'm here to help us to become better people at diagnosing the situation, so that way the prescription actually makes sense. So let me ask this. When I'm talking to somebody, usually as I'm building rapport with them over social media, the notion is that I want to talk to them about, what are your fitness and nutrition goals? But not just get the goal and be like, send them the share card. I would rather have it be, tell me more about this goal of yours. So you want to lose 30 pounds and get your nutrition check. Tell me more about that. How long has this been an issue for you? Tell me how long, how long has this been an issue for you? How is this affecting you emotionally? How is this affecting your relationships? Why is this even still an issue today? What attempts have you taken to fix it, and why has it failed in the past? Like, what roadblocks have you had? I like to call this kind of twisting dagger, but they are telling us the real pain points. When there's pain points, there's oftentimes values in fixing those, and therefore probably a solution. See, and this is kind of the notion of like, they've got to tell us there's an actual problem and recognize it. We've just asked the questions. They've now revealed to us, yeah, I'm sad, I'm kind of depressed, I don't feel as sexy. Yeah, it's affecting my relationships. And I also don't have as much energy with my kids. Why hasn't this been fixed? Well, I've tried a few times, but it's kind of, I got yo-yoing, and it's hard, especially I got pregnant or with COVID going on. I don't know. You'll hear it all, okay? Or, I've got a job, and that's taking all my time, and I don't have the energy. Okay, so we're gonna hear all of these things, right? I would also then ask the person the flip side. It's not the pain points, but the value points. All right. So what would it mean to you if you could be like 30 pounds lighter that you want and keep it off consistently? Because you said you've had a hard time. What would that mean to you if you could get that? Hopefully that would be awesome. How do you think you would feel emotionally? How do you think that would affect your relationships? What if this, even though you have all of this going on in your life, that you got another job, or you got kids that you're taking care of, that even though those things are in your life, that you still could get the results that you're looking for? What would that actually, honest and not yo-yo anymore, what would that mean to you? And I think these people would be like, that would be awesome, phenomenal. I would feel better about this. Great. They are essentially told us there's a big pain point, and that there's also value to if they could fix all of this. Now we're kind of, the situation is being painted. They painted the bad situation, what it would be if they could be with results. That's where we're coming in. Problem solution maker. We're coming in being like, look, I have a situation here that I can help you out. Based on what you told me, here are the pain points, and here's what's going on in your life, and that you would like to be at a point where you could actually have results, be fit, get your nutrition in check, even though with all the other things in your life. I have a way to help you get there. And the way I actually been able to do that is I run these monthly accountability groups, also known as these challenge groups, where I get people just like you in your situation. A lot of them are my friends. Well, I've helped them get results. And usually these groups are run every single month that I do. And there's a certain level of commitment that I need from everybody. In fact, if this is sounding interesting to you, let me tell you just some of the requirements. One of it is there's a workout regimen that you got to stick to that you can do at home. A second part of it, there's a nutrition aspect, usually involving getting your nutrition better by at least drinking one superfood shake a day. 3, we have a check-in schedule. You coaches have to define what that is. Maybe the first 7 days I have it so every single day, every single person has to check in with a sweaty selfie, and then every other day after that for the entire month. And then on check-in day, you have to comment on at least 2 other people's pictures with some kind of support. I have found that my people in my group who have given me the commitment to say yes to something like this have been able to stick to it because they know that I'm holding them accountable, and they've got the group that's also holding them accountable and keeping them supportive. But ultimately, if this is something interesting to you, I would need permission from you that I could hold you accountable to sticking to these rules. If that's something you're game on for, what are your thoughts on all this? And hopefully if we present it all in this way and letting them know, like, if they're like, yeah, that does sound interesting, and letting them know, like, look, I know you're busy with life, and you already told me because you have kids, you have another job, and it's taking up your time and energy, that it's what's kind of attributed for you to have fallen off your fitness and nutrition goals over time. If you give me permission to hold your feet to the fire and allow the group to do it, and you stick to the rules, you're going to get the results, and you're going to continue to keep those results. But I need that permission to hold your feet to the fire, because if you go ahead and try to make this priority 30th in your life, you're not going to get results. But if you're willing to make it your top 5, and I'm going to help support you, and the group is going to help support you in that, you've got to do the work, it's going to happen. I've seen it time and time again with people. This is the minimum. I'm not putting these requirements for my sake, but I know that without accountability, most people fail. Just like those New Year's resolutions we see with the memes every year, January 1st, everyone's at the treadmill. It shows the gym picture, and then it shows January 8th. It's the same treadmill, but they're all empty. I don't want that to be you. And I know my group wouldn't be any different if I didn't get it set up with accountability. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? I want to hear what you're going. And I think now this is me kind of talking out of the role-playing aspect. If we can approach a conversation with somebody digging in with these pain points first, having them paint the picture, and then having them paint the picture of what it would mean if they could fix all those pain points, how valuable that would be to them, and then telling them, like, look, we've got a solution to help you get in there, and here's why the solution is actually helpful, even in your current situation. And the way I'm almost describing it almost starts to sound like it's a catered thing. And I didn't just come at you at the front of the conversation and be like, here's all the features and benefits of my next challenge group. It's like, no. Based on what you've told me, which are your problems, I understand that. And I'm not trying to change you by making it so you don't have kids or you don't have a job. That is life. That ain't going away. I want it so that you can have life and you can also get to where you need to. But part of that is going to be the requirements I set up. But that's why it's in place. But I'm telling you, I've helped other people. I know I can help you too if you're game on. And I think this becomes a lot more attractive a presentation to somebody. It feels way less of a sale. It's like, look, I want to get you in. In fact, okay, I haven't even talked about the sale yet, ironically enough, because this whole conversation is not even about the sale. The eventual sale is like, okay, so if you are game, I have to let you know this. There is an aspect to this because I'm not like this person who's created 50 training workout programs, and I don't create shakes out of my apartment. Part of it is I am a Beachbody coach. And what that means is also that I have the ability to help you get a challenge pack, which has a huge variety of workout programs that you can choose from that would be good for you over these next 30 days. Now, some of these programs are short as 21 days. Some are more average of like 45 days. Let's find one that you really like. But whatever the case, I'm going to have to need you to stick to it for that first 30 days. But we can find something good for you. Additionally, there's a superfood shake called Shakeology that would be really good to help get your nutrition better in check, at least for that one meal a day, get you feeling a little bit better. And then the notion is, we have a lot of, when I said it's like we've got a lot of different flavors. I can help pick one that would be best for you. And usually I like to start with Shakeology, but if they're feeling like they want, maybe it's a dude that's more into bodybuilding. Hey, maybe they want Performance Line protein. I don't care. But I usually start with Shakeology. You don't have to you want to give them some options, but not too much. Okay. And then basically that's the idea. Then you're letting them know, yeah, so that's part of it. It's challenge track. It's going to give you the shake for this first month and the workout program for an entire year. And when I present it that way, like that is almost like the last thing I've honestly presented to them. Everything else was the conversation I've had with them. In fact, if you think about it, like the objections that we usually get of like, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, or I don't have the money, really become like insignificant, because when they give you excuses, all they're telling us is what you're presenting to me is not valuable enough. And to be honest, for some people that want to stay at home and still eat Cheetos or not try, that is like that. Honestly, it's a free agency. That's fine. But by having this conversation this way, we've increased the probability and percentage that they would be game for it, that they honestly themselves see there's a problem and that there is value, and then we're going to come at it and be like, look, game over. I'm going to help you get the results that you want. I've helped others, and here's the reasons why it works. And that way, there's very little objection at the end, because objections to me is just basically they don't see what we're presenting them to have enough value. When we've done it this way, I'm hoping there ain't no objections, to be honest. The reason why I say it is because when people give objections, we can always come up with some rebuttal or answer to that objection. But ultimately, I feel like it's getting lost in the smoke of it all. I always have to get down to the root of like, is this worth it for them? Because if getting the results truly is worth it for them, it's totally worth the effort and the money. It's just like, and, you know, especially when people give the money excuse, I'm like, how many people have like a new fancy iPhone, myself included? We all have the money. It's just, where are we going to put the money? You know? So that's where I kind of look at it. And if, okay. So having said all that, I think if you set it up this way, if it accomplishes two things. One, it takes the sale out of it. It increases the chances that you can get the sale. And then even more importantly, it increases the chances that they're actually going to commit by letting you hold their feet to the fire, doing the requirements that you need. So you're having the engagement in the group. People are having fun. They're supporting each other. Because, and I'll say this, because people that don't have this requirement, they're not going to go out of their shell and post. No one wants to be the insecure, overweight person that wants to be the first one to post. And I'm telling you, like, that's why you got to put that requirement in there. And that's why, at least I say for the first 7 days, make it a requirement that everyone's got to do it on those as part of the check-in. And that's what a selfie. What happens though, but you also make it so that everyone's got to support them. People don't want to post because they don't feel secure. And the last thing they want to do is get ridiculed and totally jump off. What we need is an environment that's supportive. We're making it a requirement. We're kind of jumps out. We're like that freaking, it's like I'm getting the lawnmower. Like, that's what we got. Or the rocket ship, Houston, you know, T-3, 2, 1. And there's buttloads of rockets at the beginning because we got this thing to take off. It needs momentum to get it going. Once people get checking in, that are seeing, well, maybe they're not going to maybe get results on the first day, but like they start to see the posts are working, that they're getting support from each other, they're commenting other, that creates the synergy to support. Then by the time the first week is done, hopefully it's not really a chore anymore. It's become a little bit more habitual, and it's actually something they look forward to posting because it's like, this is cool. This is my group. These are my people. This experience is great. If they're going to get this good experience and they're going to get results, well, again, that's going to lead to them wanting to become a coach tomorrow. Because if someone doesn't have a good experience and doesn't get results, are they going to want to be a coach? No, they're not going to want to share this with others or sell this to others. Just like if I have an okay or bad recommendation at a restaurant, I don't tell people about it. Well, actually, I do tell them if it's a really bad one, but that's not helping out my business anyway. But if it's like an okay one, I don't really still share that with people. But it's like, yo, I went to P.F. Chang's. I had the lettuce wraps that were so delicious. You got to try them out. They're an appetizer, but telling you, you're going to need to get like 3 because I'm going to gobble them up like in 2 seconds. I'm not getting no kickback from P.F. Chang's for saying that. I'm just excited to share that with you because you're my friend. We want that same kind of experience from our coaches to have that with their potential people too, to get them trying out Beachbody or whatever. Okay. So I shared a lot, saw some notes being taken. I like this. I read in the comments from Sandra saying, wrote these all down. I like it. And Katiana, when you do watch this later, I hope you're enjoying it too. Or anyone else catching the recording. So yeah, I really hope like you guys can see that like these are real conversations that we can have with people, that my goodness, the sale part of it is so just at the very end because because that's not the issue. The issue is I think most people, when you can actually show them their support and you want them to get results. And of course, I don't know anyone that doesn't really want to get results. It's just, can they manage it with their life? But you're really giving them some hope here that like it can happen with their life, and I've helped other people too. All right, now you're speaking my language. I mean, okay, so that's where I want to go with it. Okay, let me transition the conversation now because we've helped people in a way get into the challenge group. We're hoping them get success. So people getting results, these are the people who are going to be thinking about becoming coaches. I'll even start out by saying this again for the nth time, because it never gets old. Those who get results are likely to become tomorrow's coaches. So when I talk to someone, though, becoming about a coach, there's usually some conversation about, look, sister, you got results. I love having you in the group. Look how much fun you had. Look how supportive you were with other people. I think you doing what I'm doing, Beachbody Coach would fit just as well for you. You can make some extra money on the side. I think it'd be awesome. I need you on my team. What do you say? Now, I think we can get a lot of people actually to say yes to something like that. What I found, though, is that those people usually maybe make it to Emerald, maybe half Diamond. They die off. No matter what we do, we cannot get them to hit Diamond or beyond. Why is that the case? Well, usually because these people don't care about hitting Emerald or Diamond or hitting Success Club. Why? Well, there's not enough of a why, enough reason for them. Us as a coach trying to bark on them or motivate them ain't going to be enough. It's got to be motivating enough for these people. So usually where I go with this is like, that conversation about getting them to become a coach is not going to be sustainable. I need something more that's going to actually sell them on becoming, I could say this is the art of the sale of getting someone to become a coach. Again, doesn't feel as salesy, but it's got to be catered towards them, because that initial conversation I had with them about, hey, yeah, you got results, you should become a coach, make some extra money, that's still not worth it enough for them, okay? It might be easy to like, maybe, I don't have to say as much. I want these people, how do I say this? When coaches tell me, I've done over 300 of these individual coaching calls, they all want the same thing. I want working coaches under me who want to build the business. I'm also trying to tell people, well, I don't know if we can always get everybody wanting to build the business, but I want to groom people so they are building the business. I know that sounds, they're two different things. And then maybe they want to grow it, but even if they don't want to, that they actually are still growing it. I know that sounds funny, but let me kind of explain this. I don't think you can get most people knocking at your door saying, Johnny, I want to build this business. I really want to roll with it. I mean, we love that when that happens, someone tells us that. And we love those type A personalities that are competitive, that are just going to go for it. I don't think this is about trying to put the Facebook post or social media post out there that's saying, I'm looking for 10 type A hardworking women that want to make some money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, that's not the most savvy way of doing it, even though you do it with a smile and with such positivity. It's kind of like me, Johnny, who's single, being like, I'm looking for 10 women to go on a date with me, and here are all the features and benefits of going on a date with me. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have a blast. I'm going to give you some emotional experiences. I'm going to make you laugh. Maybe I'll make you cry. And who's down for that? And I'm saying it with such a smile on my face. I'm like, it sounds kind of cool, and maybe I'll get some low hanging fruit, but do I really want to get the low hanging fruit? Frankly, I don't think so. I don't think any of you really want to get the low hanging fruit that are going to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And no, I think we want quality people. So I give that example to discourage for the Hail Mary social media posts to try to get people. I'm like, yo, let's get people results. Let's work it normally and get these people so they have their testimony about Beachbody, so that way they actually want to share this with others. So let me look at it this way now. We're trying to get people working. Well, when coaches, I'm going to try to rapid fire through some of this because they all kind of center around the same thing. What stops someone from working the business? Usually it's time, energy, and fear. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I'm with my kids. I'm with my other job. I've got other things going on. I don't have the energy because all my time and energy and blah, blah, blah going into something. Fear. I don't really like posts on social media. It feels kind of salesy. I don't really like inviting to coach. I don't know. It feels kind of spammy. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. Okay. All this stuff. And then I ask people, now I think with those people, if I was to tell them, I guarantee you $1 million per month for just putting in the effort. Will you do it? Most people actually will say yes. Then I'd almost go back to them. Well, I thought about all the time you don't have. What about all the energy you don't have? What about all the scare? They'd be like, no. For $1 million, I'm willing to do all that. And where I'm trying to go with this conversation is being like, okay, again, what people are telling me when the excuses are to not work the business or they stop working business is working at business is not worth it for me anymore. At the bottom line. So what I'm trying to figure out for these people is, well, what is worth it for you? That is really what I'm trying to get at is, so here's where, if I'm going to sum this all up and then I'm going to go more into detail. I need to figure out what is worth it for you to work this business consistently. I've got to figure that out. And then I got to get permission to hold you accountable to that, whatever that worth it is for you, and find out at what pace do you want me to push you and check in with you to reevaluate that with you. I think that's going to be the big thing. I didn't say it's all about the trainings or something. I'll put it this way. I don't think this business is so crazy that you need all this world of training. You'll get it if you need some training. If you're not deficient, ask whoever. There's something's already been created out there, or your coach can tell you about it, or just watch this whole video and you might be good. I don't know. But like the notion here is I need people to really understand, like coaches, getting into psychology of what's going to get someone to tick, what's going to be worth it for them. So when I ask coaches, why are they coaches? Well, they always say, Beachbody coach, I want to help people. And I'm always like, that's great. Why are you a Beachbody coach then? Because you can go help people for free by being a free fitness instructor. Fitness is the aspect. And you can also be a Catholic nun and go do community service to help people. So why are you a Beachbody coach? I'm like, oh, well, I kind of find out they want to make money and they want to help people. Okay, great. So they want to make money. In fact, I find that is the primary driver for most people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this. Primary driver, I need to make money. Secondarily, I like helping out people. Also kind of find out they like recognition. Third, they like the community aspect. But the secondary reasons aren't going to be enough to get them going. That primary needs to be, well, essentially primary. It needs to be. So when I ask people, what's it going to take to get you to start working? I don't know, honestly, if we can figure it out by just asking them that. That's more of a question to sometimes ask someone who's been at this for a while that stopped. Sometimes another question to ask them is, how much money do you need to be making for this to be worth your time consistently? Again, if we can ask that and someone tells us, great. Sometimes we actually have to dig in to figure out what is that answer for somebody. So what I like to do, because I know finances is a driver, is like, all right, friend, tell me what are your financial pain points? What bills do you have coming in every single month that are causing you pain points? Is it rent, mortgage, insurance premiums, student loans, car payments? I mean, you name it. What is it? All right. Which ones are causing you the most pain? Okay. All right. And they tell you, all right, it's the car payment. Why, what chunk of that, how much is it? Okay. Why is this such a pain point for you? Tell me about it. How's that affecting your emotions? How's it affecting your relationship with your family? How long has this been going on for you that it's been an issue? Why in your current situation is it still an issue and not kind of fixed? Are you noticing a lot of these same kind of questions here? It's like the same pain point discovery thing to get someone to figure out if there's a real issue with their fitness, nutrition. Same thing here. I don't go up to somebody and tell them, man, you live in a podunk house and you drive a 1990 car. That's embarrassing. You need to make more money. You need Beachbody coaching. Here's an invitation to become a coach. Obviously, we don't do, I mean, that's even more ridiculous. But we don't do that. Again, people don't want to be sold an opportunity to work the business if they don't really see there's a need for it. And we don't need to tell people there's a need. They need to see the need for themselves. But by asking the questions, they reveal it, and it shows us we're a good listener. So they tell us, yeah, it's causing us a bit of stress, a bit of sadness. It's affecting the family. Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes we're getting fights over it. I don't know. It's never a comfortable feeling month to month. Why is it still an issue? Well, I don't know. I got the kids and it's hard. I don't want to leave them at home. I want to be able to cater to them, and I can't just leave all of a sudden for a job. And my husband's doing the best he can, but he needs a life too. So, these are common kind of situations. I like to say all these issues that they're facing, it's called life, just being a normal human. And a lot of these issues are the same for everybody. And so with that being, that's what they'll probably tell us there's a problem. Then I'd be like, all right, well, what would it mean to you if you could pay off said car payment every month, or a big chunk of that? What difference do you think that would make in your life with your family, emotionally, and be able to do this consistently? How important do you think that would be to you? That'd be awesome. It'd be great. Yeah, with less fights, emotionally happier. Okay. Again, you're seeing the same trend. In fact, I'm just kind of to take a tangent. If you can get people physical results here and get them, do this kind of discovery with them, with the pain points and the value and the solution, and successfully get them from where they were from the before pictures to the after, you can probably help them do the exact same thing here when it comes to like working the business too, because you're noticing it's the same setup here. You've got to ask these questions, the pain points, the value, and be like, look, I've got a solution for you. Beachbody coaching is a way for you to actually make this payment doing something that you already like doing, that you've gotten results. You've got your own testimonial. You already know I love you. You know I'd love you on my team. I think this is something that would make sense for you. Now, if that is, if you're down for this, I can even show you how we can game plan how to pay off X amount of dollar that you said is worth it for you, you'd like to pay off each month. We can help you get there. Let's work with something here and figure out what that means to you. How many challenge packs is that going to mean in the short term? Because they're $50 per challenge pack. What's that going to look like? How many of these do we think we can get in HD? And then, we can talk to them and let them know, like, as we start to maybe even start signing up coaches, we can maybe start making some team volume and help you get some money by kind of almost hiring some employees, so to speak. What are your thoughts on that? And hopefully they're like, okay, like they're hopefully game on for something like that. Then the next notion is like, all right, remember how when you got results, I told you there's certain requirements and that I need permission to hold you accountable because you're going to want to make working out priority 30th. Well, when it comes to doing this business, you're going to be tempted to make work in this business priority 30th. I need you to still actually make it one of your regular habits that you've been working on each day. But if you do that, that's how you're going to get these results. Now, you've stuck with it with me before. If you can do this again, we're going to help you get results. Part of this business is that consistency. When you start getting out of it, it's harder to jump back in. So I want permission to hold your feet to the fire. Again, if that's something you're game for. And hopefully they're going to say yes. Again, the whole idea was to draw out the why or the motivation for them. Be like, I want to be your biggest champion for it. Can I hold you accountable to it? Great. Okay, sister, how do you work well? Do you want me to check in with you every week, every other week? I don't know, once a month? What's kind of your cadence? We can adapt. Each time you meet with them, it's to celebrate the heck out of, whatever their victory was, and then discuss whatever troubles they're having with their business and to help them advance it. So that way they're not giving you excuses anymore. It's, oh, here's some roadblocks I'm facing. Can you help me through it? So total different conversation. One's about how do we work through this for success versus here's an excuse. Don't talk to me anymore. Okay. We're trying to set these all up because we know their life's going to get busy and we know that they're going to miss something here or there. And we're trying to let them know, like, look, I recognize you got kids, you got life. But yeah, that's my job, is to make this more of a habit in your life, that you're working this business and you're paying that off. And as they do pay that off, every single time they pay off whatever, man, we are celebrating the heck out of it. In fact, you can see that this had nothing to do with Emerald or Diamond or Success Club, to be honest. This is really about getting people, helping them achieve the result that they wanted. In this case, it was financial. But financials are more, money is just money. But what does it mean? Usually it means it's helping out their family, which definitely affects their personal emotions, because their family is of high value to them. And so helping people on that front becomes worthwhile for them. That is something that might get someone working every single month, selling X amount of challenge packs, getting X amount of people on HD consistently so that they work the business. As they do that, and we're having these conversations, the things I told you today, of how they can help people get results in their challenge group, and how to get those challengers who are getting results now to become coaches. That's really where this whole thing goes, is that you're just trying to get your coaches to understand everything that we've talked today and pass that baton on. That's really this whole process. And so I kind of say there's not have to be all this crazy training. I mean, there can be more specific trainings on like how to work the social media, or maybe fine tuning some of the conversations we're having with people. But this is the general gist of how the business is going to go. And this is where duplication becomes the thing of like, if I can do this to myself, I want to help out every prospective coach to kind of get there as well. Sorry, I'm like, excuse me. All right. Recovering from a cold here, so my voice is starting to cut out. All right, friends. I've shared a lot of knowledge here about getting people results from a challenger's perspective, getting people results, from like the coach's perspective. I'm hoping it's all hopefully making sense how that transition happens. And I'll say this, is that if someone gets working consistently, for them to become an Emerald or Diamond, it's just part of the journey. I mean, we're going to celebrate the heck out of it. Some coaches like to make expectations. You can. Again, I don't think the expectation matters to that person. I think what matters to them is making that car payment consistently month after month. And when they do that, you're celebrating the heck out of it, reminding them, how does it feel? And when someone does that, okay, great. They keep selling challenge packs month after month, and they start converting people into coaches. Okay, as a byproduct, they are going to become Emerald. They are going to become Diamond, because you can help guide them. I'll place it here, because now you'll also make a little extra money because now you're cycling or whatever. Okay. Or you get people that are starting to work the business a few months and are like, this is kind of cool. I was able to do this. Great. That they kind of, the light bulb switches on. They're like, I think I want to kick it up a notch. and I want to put in more effort. I want to make more money. And they may have not told you that from the get-go, but it's because you've groomed them to have enough months of success that they're like, I see it. I get it. I think I want to roll with this. And I think we're trying to give as many people that opportunity by having them that successful, that amount of time. So that way we do get people that maybe never are the type A personalities. And maybe they're not even in this to necessarily crazily grow the business, but man, they're going to just keep working each month to pay the whatever bills is worth it to them. Well, they are growing the business, whether they like it or not. You're obviously going to guide them. Well, here, let's make you some extra money here. Diamond makes sense for you because you can cycle at 18 instead of 14 now. Here's how you place. Oh, if you place here, you can get a 2-star diamond bonus pool. You can open up a second CVC. I mean, their ears will be open to those rank conversations because it's to their benefit. It's not really a lot. It doesn't really sing to them at the beginning when it's just a pure recognition thing that they haven't even made the car payment yet. They don't care, right? So hopefully this is all making sense. So I want to turn the time over to you guys. Sandy, if you don't mind unmuting yourself, maybe there you go. First of all, I'm shooting a lot of information. Is this making sense? And then 2, I'd like to hear, what's like the biggest takeaway you're getting from all this so far, as it applies to you?
All those questions that you said, the conversations with people without even discussing, Beachbody at the beginning. I really need to do that. I have a lot of people saying, I'm inspiring and keep it up, but no one ever says yes to even joining a challenge group. So that's my biggest issue.
Okay. And I'm hoping as you talk to them about asking some of these questions, it's hopefully giving some light to see that they do have a problem. Because here's where I'm going with this. I think we both probably know if they're saying, oh, you're inspiring me. One, they're saying that nice to be as a friend, but also they're probably saying, well, they're inspiring you to do, they're probably you're inspiring them to want to take some action, to want to get more fit, right? Or do whatever, but they're not maybe quite doing it. So we're thinking, dang, they're not joining my next challenge. So I think having these conversations, like what you've said, I think will bring to light that they will hopefully expose to us that there is a problem to which is causing this notion of inspiration that would make it so it becomes a problem, value, and then the invitation with the solution that you're going to provide in the group. And they'll be willing to listen in and be like, Sandy, that sounds like something I do want to join into. Great. But yeah, if it's a Beachbody invitation way too quickly in that, so you can be like, no, thank you. You're inspiring, not that inspiring. So it's done, when it's done smartly, we can definitely get them in there.
Yeah, I have an issue that happened recently with a local friend who I didn't even know had bod, but she did. And out of the blue, she said, I'm going to renew it and I'm going to do it under you. I want you to be my coach and I want to be in one of your groups. Keep asking me. I can't do it right now. And she, XYZ. So, I'll say, I have a group coming up, are you interested? No, not now, maybe later. And the last time I asked her a few weeks ago, she goes, you're really great and inspiring, but I feel like all these posts are all about just wanting to make money off of me. And I didn't even mention money or anything one time to her. So that was weird. I said, I'm sorry, you said you wanted to join me. So I'm just asking you again. Oh, I do want to join you, definitely. But you're making this all about money and spending money. And it was like, that was the weirdest thing.
Interesting. It might just be her or whatever her perspective is. But yeah, definitely asking those questions, make money the last part of the conversation, right? So, and she's already sounded like she really wants to buy from you anyway. So anyway, so it sounds like that's the missing piece, is for her to feel like you're presenting this to her in a way that makes sense to her and that she feels like she'll get results and that it's not about the money. And then I think she'll calm down about that. So cool.
Okay.
Maria, who is sore AF, are you doing laundry? You doing, what you doing?
I'm doing dishes.
Wait, you're doing what? Say that again?
I'm doing dishes.
Oh, dishes. It was something she's cooking or she's doing laundry. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, dinner was done. Kids ate. Dishes.
Cool. Hey, I'm just kind of curious, as you've been listening and multitasking, what's the biggest takeaway that you've gotten so far listening to this?
So for me, it's like I've been a coach for almost 5 years, like in 2 weeks, it's going to be 5 years. And it's kind of just going back to the basics. Like sometimes we get so in our head about everything. And it's so simple just to go back to the basics and it's asking questions. And I think that, like, I remember when I first started, I had like not a script, but kind of like the different questions to ask, and got people talking. And I think that was so simple. Like, I just need to kind of go back to that.
Cool. I like that. I think, yeah, especially the longer you're in this business, it's easier to hear all these additional things, or this little shortcut helps such and such. I'm like, well, hell, I want to try that. And then it's like, well, and I don't know, my VP might hate this. He's always asking what's working, what's not. And I'm kind of, there's always a part of me that hates hearing that, because I'm like, what's working? That question shouldn't even be asked, because what's working is always the basics are always working. It's when we steer too far away from that and actually try to go on with the new shiny object that I think we start to lose it. So, cool. I'm glad that that came to mind. Because everything I've been saying today has been very basic in that, gosh, in so many ways, I'm like, there's not a whole lot of special training that's needed. Like, that's why I'm kind of joking, but not, I'm like, if you watch this, you start to understand, the questions I'm asking are all very centered about the person, if it makes sense for them telling me there's a real reason, and me setting them up for success. It wasn't, I did this strategic Facebook post and I did this ad. I'm like, all those little extra things are like nice if you have the time and the energy, if you've got all your basics down really well. But if you don't got the basics down, like those are maybe I like to say, like, they're the garnishing or like the sprinkles on top. Sprinkles maybe make a dish taste a little bit better, but if there's no dish to begin with, sprinkles ain't gonna fill you up. So I'm preaching to the choir there, but I think that's great. I think that's, and I just love to see Sandy with that pen. She's just going nuts with the taking. Sandy, by the way, I'm gonna say, I really hope you do become elite, and it's just like, that'll be, talk about inspiring. You'll be inspiring people, because I know I do work with a few older coaches who are like, yeah, it's a little tougher. My mark's different. And I'm like, I don't know. I try to give them the best, yes, but we can still make it work. But sometimes they don't want to, they're not quite willing to move out of the way or really listen to things. I feel like you are, and you're listening. And so I'm hoping that as you do get more successful, it may even help out company-wide to other older people who'd be like, look, hell, Sandy can do it. I can't complain anymore. So I think we all see that. Amanda's like nodding her head like, amen. So
yeah, my goal was to retire in 2 years, and now I want to retire August 1 of next year.
Okay.
And not even think of 2 years. And I had a vivid dream about a month ago, Johnny, that I was at Summit, and I even knew what I was wearing and everything, and I was waiting to go across stage, to get recognized, and I saw everything. I mean, the dream was like the most vivid dream I've ever had. It was so weird.
That's cool. Well, and now here's what I'm also thinking, like, I mean, by all means, do what you want. I feel like your retirement probably, you won't want to retire. You'll still want to keep helping people. It'll be a fun retirement. Like,
retire from my other job.
So you can do this. Yeah,
all
okay.
I want to do is Beachbody.
Gotcha.
I don't want to do my other job anymore.
Okay, cool. Hey, Amanda, I think I want to, we'll turn the time back to you. Before I do that, I always do this with everybody, a little flexing pose with all of us that I can screenshot. Let's get Maria there.
Maria, get that story.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, Amanda, one more time. All four of us here.
When the baby's
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for letting me be on tonight's call. Amanda, do you have any parting words to exit out?
Johnny, first of all, my parting words is everybody be on the lookout for a woman for Johnny. He is single. He is on the market. And we're not going for low hanging fruit. Okay. We're going for the top of the crop, baby. Only for Johnny.
You're cracking me up. Thank you. That totally wasn't my intention to say it, but thank you. That's, if I blushed, I'd be blushing. Yeah.
Listen, you have to know, and Maria's laughing over there because she knows how it is. Maria's like my sister coach, and every time we go like to Summit or we go on like a retreat or like one of the cruises or something, like we're always like trying to hook up people, and we're always meeting and chatting with people. So it was funny that you said that. I was like, game on, Johnny.
If that
Johnny
happens,
getting married by 2022, baby.
Yeah, I'll have to propose on stage at Summit and be like, I have to thank Amanda, Maria, and Sandy on the team call. They put it out there.
That's right. That's right. We'll be looking. Well, Johnny, thank you
Yep.
so much. And again, even as I was listening to this, I was like, it really is going back to the basics. It's really keeping everything we do customer and people centered instead of looking at it like what we need. Like we need the Success Club points, or we need that diamond rank, or that that rank advancement. We need that money. But if we look at it from a perspective of serving someone, what a huge difference that makes. And that's a great reminder even for me. So thank you so much.
Love it. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Shani. Bye, everyone. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
next month.